folks, we are joined this afternoon by Nanny Jo, also known as Super Nanny, who's going to be sharing her experiences with asthma and exercise-induced bronchospasm. And Nanny Jo, we want to thank you, first of all, for joining us this afternoon, and also let you know that the questions we're going to be asking you today came directly from our readers. So we let them know we'd be chatting, and we asked them to submit questions, so I'm going to be pulling from those this afternoon.
Okay.
Great. So I wonder, one of our readers actually said that she suspects her 6-year-old daughter might have asthma or exercise-induced bronchospasm. I'm going to say EIB because I'm going to butcher that as we go this afternoon. And she suspects her 6-year-old daughter might have it. And I was wondering if you might be able to share a little bit of your story because it might help them on their journey to finding a diagnosis.
Yes, well, when I was 5 years old, I was diagnosed with asthma and EIB. And as your reader is thinking that there's a possibility that her daughter may have it, I think it's very important to be aware of those symptoms. EIB, the symptoms are certainly caused during exercise and afterwards, and that's the tightness of the chest, wheezing and coughing, whereas with asthma it can be triggered by other things like household products, dander, smoke, pollution. And so we've got to look at the fact that these are symptoms that are very different. However, 80 to 90% of children or adults that have asthma also have EIB as well. So if this lady is certainly experiencing these symptoms with her daughter, I would say to her immediately to go to her paediatrician and actually discuss this and to keep a record of when this is happening so that there can be prevention in being able to stop these symptoms. For myself, my parents had a very healthy dialogue with my doctor. There was no obstacle of having asthma and EIB and feeling as a child that I couldn't do the activities I wanted to do. So I was very active. I participated in a lot of sports at school, a real social butterfly, with friends and busy all the time. And with the summer coming around, I think it's even more important for us to understand that we get a hold of this information. And that's why I felt so passionate to work alongside EIB Active to really bring home the importance of that knowledge and to educate adults as well as parents with kids as well, because the risk factors are so high when we look at heart disease, diabetes, stage 2, certainly diabetes for kids now, high blood pressure. We've got to recognise the importance of being able to prevent such symptoms so that we can continue to be healthy and active, not just as kids but as adults as well. And if we learn more about that, then we can certainly help ourselves. Now, I take a quick relief albuterol inhaler. I take a 15-30 minutes before I'm going to exercise, a quick couple of puffs on my Pro Air, and way to go, I'm off, being busy and being very physical. And I think that's really what I want to convey to so many people in America. It's estimated around 30 million Americans have EIB, and yet there's still a lack of awareness about this condition. So the more we learn, the more we can help ourselves to prevent that. If you actually go on the website, which is eibactive.com, you'll receive an enormous amount of information to be able to take home, be interactive with, learn more about, and have an action game plan for the summer ahead, because I'm sure we're all going to be very, very busy.
Okay, I want to actually go back because I'm so glad you said that you didn't feel hindered when you were in school. Because another reader said she feels like maybe her daughter might not be partaking in sports because she doesn't feel like she can excel at them as someone who might not be suffering from asthma or EIB. What advice would you have for that parent in terms of encouraging her daughter?
Certainly to make her daughter more aware of the medical condition that she has, and to recognise that this is not to prevent her from doing those activities, but to be very much a part of the activities that she'll participate with other peers, and to also educate teachers, babysitters and other adults around the child's life with being able to give them the medication and for them to look out for the symptoms and to recognise when to prevent and when to give that inhaler. So for teachers to become increasingly important of when children need that is the difference in your child sitting on the bench when everybody else is participating in a team sport or actively being involved in that.
You know, you brought up a really good point, you know, that teachers and coaches need to be made aware of some of these, the symptoms so that they can take appropriate actions when necessary. Is there a place where teachers and coaches could find information specifically for them?
Absolutely. On www.eibactive.com for parents, adults, children, and also for coaches and teachers. That's the website to go to where you can find an enormous amount of information.
Great. I wonder, you said that your parents had a really open dialogue with your pediatrician. Yeah. I wonder, one of our other readers asked a question about, you know, some tips for maybe having an open dialogue with your pediatrician. Do you have any suggestions there?
Yes, certainly. Start off with your history. You know, be able to record patterns. If you're recognising over a repetition that your child during exercise or after has those symptoms of the tightness of the chest, the wheezing, the coughing, you know, write that down and actually go to your doctor very proactive with those circumstances. At this particular time, at this event, this is what I saw. And so that there is history, there's a record that allows you then to say, what can we do to prevent these symptoms from happening, so that for the welfare of the child, they can be the kids that we want them to be, out there hop, skipping and jumping.
Absolutely. You know, I think those are some fantastic tips.
Thank
Do you have some ideas for parents with young kids and how to get outside and stay active this summer?
Yeah, I think it's important for you to pace yourself over the holidays. You know, a lot of tips are given. How do you keep yourself busy and keep the kids occupied? The dreaded summer holidays. I say embrace it, have fun with it. Sit down and talk to your kids about the things that they want to do over the summer. Don't pack everything into the first 2 weeks and be absolutely tired come the next 4. Recognise the importance of you not only taking interest in the things that you'll do outside the home, but also to create interest in what each individual child would like to do and to rotate that. And also to spend quality time at home as well. To be able to be in the sanctuary of your own home and potter around in the garden and play games outside is just as valuable as having to get in the car that you've been doing for so long, doing the carpool run day in and day out. So pace yourself, be creative with the ideas together as a family, and certainly look to not do something every day that's a big spectacular event, you know, but enjoy, you know, but enjoy and pace.
Absolutely. Enjoy and pace. And you know what? I think so often it's overlooked. Puttering around in the garden is actually great exercise. And getting your kids out there, that's a really valuable learning opportunity as well. Right. So, you know, I'm so glad you brought that up. Is there anything that I haven't asked that you'd like to share with me, Bouncer readers?
I would just like to really convey the importance of us all becoming more educated about exercise-induced bronchospasm. The more we are able to educate everybody, literally, who has asthma and who is recognising these symptoms, the more we can prevent, the more we can become healthier and not feel that being active is a brick wall in front of us, so that we can become more engaged in life and actually feel challenged to think outside the box and do more. And that, for myself, I believe, is very much about living and not sitting on the bench.
Absolutely, and empowering our kids to do just that as well.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.